I guess I've hurt more children than I have anything, you know? I would go into people's homes to get drugs and their kids would be in there, untaken care of, dirty diapers. And I look back and I say to myself, was that me? I pray to God I never put my babies through that, but you know, you just don't know when you're high.
Rob Seeley has 8 children, 6 of whom he doesn't see anymore. And there's a lot about his life that he doesn't remember, but he knows where things started to go wrong.
I was 13 or 14 when I was first introduced to like Oxycontin and Percocet and stuff like that. After that, I just like was introduced to heroin. Now it's the heroin epidemic. You know, like heroin's on every corner, every school. You can find it anywhere. Wow, that's crazy.
Bonnie Seeley was 16 when she started taking pain pills. She was 17 when she met Rob. And by the time she was 24, Bonnie had moved on to heroin.
We were both using together. It got to the point where we were using 2 grams of heroin a day together. We were ruining each other.
Bonnie and Rob got married last year. She got pregnant and tried to stop using.
I felt huge, but everyone's like, you're not that big. And I'm like, I know, but I feel huge. I stupidly decided that I should use being 7 months pregnant with my son. And that's what addicts do. They don't think about their kids. They think about themselves.
Bonnie got caught doing heroin, and a case with Child Protective Services was opened. Landon was born in December and had to be weaned off the drugs. But Rob was already on his way to prison, and it was unclear whether the couple would be able to keep their baby.
Wow. I was caught manufacturing methamphetamine. I almost lost my son because of it.
Rob served almost 3 months in prison. But instead of being separated from their child, the couple was allowed to go on what's called a safety plan, meaning they can live with their baby in a foster home as long as they're supervised and off drugs.
Gotta be careful with the baby. Yeah, gotta be careful.
I can't imagine knowing that your child is at somebody else's home and growing up and you're missing those special moments. It must be devastating, and I don't think it's really conducive to getting healthy because it's another source of depression.
So Bet Hoxie agreed to take in the whole family.
Come to Dad.
I lost one of my sons to an accidental overdose 2 years ago. And at first I was just so sad that I couldn't do anything. But I vowed that when I was strong enough, I would do my best to make a difference for some other families so they might not have to experience that same knock at the door.
Bet has cared for more than 150 foster kids over the years, including a 2-year-old who lives with her now. That child's mother is also battling heroin addiction.
I'm back, just like I said. I said I was coming back, and I came back.
Several of her adopted children and grandchildren also live in the house. But Bet has a soft spot for Rob. She took him in when he was 6, when his mother was battling addiction. Almost 3 decades later, she's trying to help him and Bonnie stay clean so they can care for Landon.
They're actively working towards rising above the issues and doing an excellent job. But there are many foster homes in the state that could take the child, but they couldn't take the parents. You know, and I mean, I thought above all else they needed to be together and have the opportunity to prove themselves.
The first 6 months of your life, Landon, I've never been alone with you.
Well, you worked really hard. You're doing a really good job.
More than 1,000 children are born drug-affected in Maine each year. As more and more parents are lost to addiction, the foster care system is struggling to keep up.
I see the strain in the system, you know, happening concurrently while the increase in opioid dependence is taking place. Right now in Maine there are 1,900 children in foster care, and we don't have that many foster homes, and several of those kids are classified as therapeutic level foster children, which means they have some sort of need, behavioral, mental health, developmental, that requires additional support.
Rob and Bonnie have a court date in October when a judge will decide if they can regain full custody of Landon. And Rob is hoping to reunite with his other kids.
They're also told us that we're going above and beyond what they expected because they expected us just to not do it. And I'm proving them wrong. I love my son. He's my whole world. I've waited my whole life to have him. And he made me getting sober worth it even more than anything in the world.
I don't want my kids to feel the way I do every day. I live this life every day. I feel it every day. And I want my kids to know that their father loves them, and I want to get my life straight. I want to be a dad.